Welcome to the Stanford Lee Show. This week's episode, what the groovy house of the future became. Let's get started. So, you remember those, maybe you don't, it's been a while, but think of a really groovy age. Like, if you can vibe with me here and we take a trip back to, before any of us remember, I guess, the late 60s. So if you can dig that, there was this Finnish architect. I expect he was probably inspired maybe by some sci-fi movies or, something like Plan 9 from outer space. I don't know, but imagine these homes. They just look like a flying saucer. So the architect, Matti Saarinen, came up with a way of manufacturing these efficiently using fiberglass and plastic materials. There was only about 100 of these produced. So between about 1968 and 1973, there's about 100 of these. And there's only about 60 remaining today. They're really shocking if you're like, if you encounter one of these, it's like, it's a stop and double take. I mean, it's really cool. The first one I saw was in Tampa, Florida. I didn't know the history. When I was in Florida, I was just kind of, blown away by this strip of Tampa that was, like you see the lawyer billboard signs and junk and pawn shops, and then all of a sudden coming upon this flying saucer on top of a building, which is literally what it looks like. And it's kind of evoking all kinds of images in my head. I'm thinking either some aliens or some go-go dancers are just going to kind of walk out of that in glitter boots or something. It did have a history of between a couple mobsters, basically, that there was different insinuations of what was going on. There was a story about distributing counterfeit money from this club. So the original owner, Pat Messini, he had an interest in Stanley Kubrick's movie 2001: Space Odyssey. Yeah, so so did a lot of people, including myself. Well, he's like, how cool would it be to put this on top of a club? And I guess he probably needed a club, for his other capitalistic ventures, and was like, yeah, we'll just put it on the roof of this thing and make a nightclub. It was actually lifted with a crane and ended up smashing the club. So all that had to be repaired. And then when they finally got that done, it became the 2001 Odyssey Club, which you could go up there. It's like a VIP thing. And I've never been in there, but I've seen it from the curbside, and it was pretty impressive. It's just great to think about what an age the late 60s and early 70s was. As weird as it is, and even with a story that involves, plastic manufacturing and, some mobsters with a strip club, you can think about the optimism of that time. It's like, whoosh, it's like we were, sending rockets into the space, into outer space, and we were thinking beyond this planet, and having a new idea of kind of where we fit in the universe. If you can remember playgrounds from earlier times, it's like they were always some kind of rocket ship. They were always something aspiring to go to the stars or whatever. In this place, it ended up kind of being a humble club or whatever. There's if you want to go to California to see the desert, which is really great, you can go to Joshua Tree, and they actually have an Airbnb, which they've made this saucer into a really good experience. I would check some stuff out. What I do is I go around in the interwebs and I look for these things, so you can actually see that some of these are in different countries, or there's one in North Carolina I want to go take a road trip and see. these things are, kind of scattered around the world in different places, and maybe you'll get lucky to see that too. And hey, it's like, life is kind of like a sci-fi adventure, and I wanted to kind of get my groove on with this episode, so I hope you enjoy it. And I have this, an excerpt of this song I'd like to share that's called Thrift Store to kind of set the tone of things. So let's check it out. So if you want to check out my social media, take a look, enjoy, go hit one of my links, give me a like, it really helps the channel. But there's a lot of cool stuff, and I want to share more about my influences and music, and this kind of had a retro vibe going on. Not only the 60s, and there's a lot of great bands. I kind of like the Zombies and the Doors, really groovy stuff, early Cream, all good stuff. But also, just some of the club music too. It kind of set me in the mood for this, thinking about Delight, like how cool was their aesthetic and use of samples and music and stuff. So I really enjoyed that, and I hope you had a great time. And I'll see you next time on the Stanford Lee Show.